What's up, everybody?
Hello, beautiful people.
Hoping you are hearing us loud and clear here, attempting to give you another edition of my Marriage is Dope podcast.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. Is
Wow.
that what we're doing?
What a different what a what a difference a day makes, huh?
What a difference. What a difference.
Wow, man.
What's
Wow.
up, beautiful people? Thank you
What's
guys
going
for
on
joining.
everywhere? We're just this is just a time for us to just share hearts, maybe answer a few questions,
Yeah.
maybe
We freestyling, y'all. We
there's
freestyling.
no rhyme or
No.
reason.
Yes, sir.
We just felt in our hearts that we need to be here and be present. We missed y'all.
Yeah, I was about to say we
Come
miss
on,
y'all.
man.
Some of y'all missed us.
Come on, man.
So,
Come
yeah,
on,
good
man.
stuff.
How you doing, Queen B?
I'm doing well, actually. I'm doing well. I'm at peace. I had my therapy appointment this morning, and I was like, I'm at peace. I have some peace about me.
You
So
have
it's a
some
good
peace.
thing. Yeah.
From whence cometh that peace?
Oh, from whence cometh that peace? We already know where that
Wh-
peace comes from.
Where
Yeah.
does that peace come from?
Yeah, my daddy gives me peace. My daddy gives me peace. So
You're talking in code. What does that mean? I don't know.
my heavenly Father, my daddy.
Yeah, I'm saying though, why you need peace, Shirley Perry Austin?
Why do I need? We all need peace.
Oh Lord, you really? This what we doing?
We all need peace.
This what we doing?
No, this is a rough season in our life, and let me say,
What's rough about it?
on
Because there are
paper,
people here that
oh,
have absolutely no idea
idea
who you
what's
are, what's going on, or whatever. So I'm
my
asking you
name is
questions for a
Shirley.
reason.
My name is Shirley, and I am one half of Marriage Inc. Right?
And I'm Shannon. I'm the other half.
Yes, and no, but in this season, it's interesting because I'm actually, well, I'll talk about that later. But in this season, we're going through another health challenge.
I don't know what you're talking about. They don't know what you're talking about. So maybe you should give them some background and some history. I don't know. I'm just saying.
It seems like you want to delve deep into it.
No, I don't want to delve
deep
deep into it because I'm asking you for your perspective, married woman of God.
Yeah.
So you being real cryptic in your talking. What's going on with you, man?
So in July, was it June 3rd?
July.
Was it July 3rd?
Get your facts together.
July 3rd. Hey, it's a lot been going on. July 3rd, Shannon was diagnosed with multiple myeloma. 90% of his blood has been cancerous. And so that was a very heavy blow to us, of course. Shannon's been sick since 2016, on and off. 2016, it was the carcinoid cancer in his lungs. 2018, congestive heart failure. 2021, prostate cancer. But for me, it was more devastating than all of them. And it's interesting, right? Because there is a dichotomy there. It was more devastating cognitively, but emotionally, not so much. And that's why, I say, I really do have a peace cognitively, because I know how serious this is. Like, we're literally facing life or death. Like, we don't know where this is going to take us, as we did in the other ones, but there was, more hope with the other ones. So, but I also, because of my faith, I know and I see God literally working. And so my peace comes from knowing that God's like, I got you. And that's why I say we desire, this is my stance, we desire for Shannon, for you to live and not die and declare the works of the Lord. That is our heart's desire. That is my heart's desire. But whatever the end result is, my stance is not my business. It's God's business. Because there's something so much greater that God wants to do. There's so much greater beyond this. Like this here, this earth is something we can't even comprehend. We can't even imagine. And so, my hope is just deeper than just Shannon feeling better. My hope is that Shannon's Shannon will be saved. Like my hope is for your soul salvation. And if this is what it takes,
don't say that.
then thank you, Jesus.
This ain't what it takes. This ain't what it takes.
Well, that's what it looks like.
We don't want
so
it to
thank
take
you,
this.
Jesus.
We don't.
But we don't want it to. But yeah.
And so you've been carrying. Because and the reason why I want you to talk, because you've been carrying some heavy weight, man. And as a wife, I can't imagine that this is something that you thought you would ever even think that you would have. Like when you look at, carcinoid cancer in 2016, when you look at congestive heart failure diagnosis in 2018, when you look at and all the treatment that came with that, the treatment that came with the 2016 cancer diagnosis. When you look at prostate cancer, about 2 years later, everything seemed to happen in like 2-year increments. And now when you look at this, 2024, which is 2 years, right?
Yeah.
To the, almost to the moment.
Yeah.
To the same time frame of year, like June, July.
Yep.
Like we can count on something coming around like that. I can only imagine as a wife, as a like if you had to rewind and go back to when your wedding day and all of the things, your children being born and before any problems really began to we began to like. To have to know that, like, if you knew that this was going to be it,
yeah, like, listen.
That's the kind of like. That's why I want to, I want to. That's why I was one of the reasons why I was like, let's do a podcast episode to give you and I mean, I want to talk and I want to share, but like you've been a caregiver, man, for a long time. And there's a difference between being a wife and a caregiver.
There is a difference. There's a difference. And, we always...
So talk about, I'm asking you a bunch of stuff.
Right. No, yeah.
But yeah, go back to when you were a new.
No, I got you.
Right? Talk about that stuff.
The truth is, I would not want this. I would not sign up for this. Right? That's just bare knuckles reality. And the other reality is I was built for this. And I see how God prepared me for this. As a little, I mean, my mother was sick as a little, and the crazy thing is, I don't really remember that. We talk about that a lot in our family. We talk about, how Daddy took care of Mommy, and then when my cousin Johnny was sick, and I remember juicing the carrots and the fruits and vegetables for her, and helping my mom with that. My mom and dad, they were right. So I, like the caretaker thing, my grandma came and stayed with us, and I was maybe like 12, 13, right? So I was caretaking. Then my niece, she passed. I was there when she passed. I was helping to take care of her. My dad, helping to take care of him. I was there when he passed. My mom, who just passed, I left here just to go visit her for 2 weeks, ended up staying almost 5 months. I took care of her because that's what I do. I take care of people. It literally is in my DNA. My sister is like the queen of knowing how to. She is a doctor without going to medical school. Seriously, the meds, she like everything. And so just watching her, watching my parents, my family, how we take care of people. So being in this role, the hard part about being in this role is more so about the life I thought I would have that I don't necessarily have, experiences that I've wanted that I've not been able to have, things that I've wanted to, having to stop, just like we've had to stop podcasting. I've like writing my books. Like I hadn't done anything the past couple of months. Actually, today was the first day that I tried to write something because my mind is so bogged down with caretaking and with the trying not to be afraid of what's happening, with helping, like I can't even help to manage your emotions. I'm literally, is nothing I can do. And so managing the fact that I can't even help you manage your fears and your emotions, you know. So I mean, I know that my love and my presence, that helps you, right? But it's only so much that somebody can do when you're the one facing death. Right. And so, yeah, it's been a lot. I mean, we've had conversations that, and it's so crazy because, like, why didn't we go this deep in the other times when you had cancer and life-threatening illnesses? But we've gone deeper in this season than we've ever gone.
This was different.
This was different.
This was, I just remember being in the hospital room and listening to the doctor. And I was like, it wasn't like prostate cancer is back or the carcinoid cancer is back. It was like a bigger monster is here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And even though I didn't completely know, because I have a healthcare background, even though I didn't completely know what multiple myeloma was, I knew it was serious. Just the way the doctor was dealing with me. Not to say that remember, if you remember being in Dr. Roosevelt's office when he told us that I had prostate cancer, you could see optimism in his eyes.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah.
Like he was very like confident that
you're gonna be okay.
If you do this, you do what you're supposed to do, you're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I remember when the doctor, because the first cancer diagnosis, I remember when the doctor came in, y'all weren't there. I was by myself, and I remember how the doctor shared with me that news. And it was like, let's cut it out. Let's get it out of you so that, you know, we can move on with your life. The doctor on this one, even though she had an air of optimism about her, she was like, this is serious. And the numbers that we're seeing are so out of whack.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You like, it was to the point where she was, so I went to the ER. We were admitted at Piedmont Hospital. She was communicating with the doctors at the VA hospital, and Piedmont and the VA don't even have a relationship. She just happened to know Dr. Maria. Shout out to Dr. Maria Ribeiro, who was an amazing hematologist with the VA. She just happened to have a relationship with her. And she was like, oh, you're with the VA? I know exactly who to call. They were making calls on the weekend.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? To begin a process of getting me starting a treatment process. And just that let me know, okay, this is very, very serious. And then of course we jumped on Google. And once Google kicked in, it was like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is crazy.
But to me, the whoa thing was because you could have multiple myeloma, I can have multiple myeloma, and it looks completely different.
And it looks different.
So for me, the whoa thing was when she said 90% of your blood is cancerous.
When Dr. Maria said that.
That's when I was like, okay, this is on another level. This is on another level.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So so hearing the seriousness of the diagnosis, um, on the on I can't speak. Thank God I can't speak for on the family side of things. I can only speak from a patient perspective. And you are just you're flooded with fear and anxiety and angst and worry, and it's hard to reach for faith. You're trying to search for faith and find faith and figure faith out, and you can't find it. You can't find it. I couldn't find. I put on a happy face, like I and there was what there was determination. Okay, I cannot sink into despair. We have to fight. We have to move into fight mode. We cannot move into despair mode. That's not going to help. However, I am in some ways still, but I was in that moment absolutely scared to death.
Yeah.
For me, for you, for the boys, for the work that we do, for our community, for our extended family, for my sister who is just her and I left in our immediate family, immediately gripped with fear for everybody else, more so than even for me. It was something, man. It was something. Yeah. And so I could only imagine, because you, like I said, you put on a happy face. Your poker face is solid. There's guys, just very rarely does coach. Very rarely have I seen her cry. And although I did not see you cry right away or anything of that nature, I could see way more concern on your face than I had ever seen before. Way more.
Yeah. I mean, of course. But for me, it wasn't hard to find the faith. We have, in my life, outside of you, I have been through a lot, and I have seen God. In our marriage, we have been through a lot. I mean, if we just go back and document, I really wish I would have documented a lot of things, and I've been documenting a little along the way now, but I probably won't remember everything. We literally had miracles happen in our darkest times.
Oh, absolute miracles.
Like, people come through for us that have no idea about, like, don't know us, like, for
absolute
real.
Miracles.
Like, just God just, saying, standing in front of the judge, and like, things have happened. God has moved some mighty pieces on our behalf. So when things happen in my life, that's the thing I immediately go to. I immediately go to faith. And that's why I have peace, because my faith gives me peace. Because I know if nobody else on planet Earth has my back and wants the best for me, it is God. Even if God's best is something that hurts my heart, I know that God is not intentionally trying to hurt me. God is saying, I got you. It's for a reason. I just need you to trust me. So for me, that's my go-to.
Just real quick, guys, this is the My Marriage is Dope podcast. This is me and Shirley. This is a Freestyle Friday. I guess we could call it that. We could say, right? We could call it Freestyle Friday. We just kind of wanted to share with you guys, man, what is going on, and we actually have a topic kind of within the freestyle framework, and it's just really how to, like, the vows that you take, when you get married. Like, how do you maintain a commitment to your vows, a commitment to your covenant that you made? So listen, we want you to like. I should have said this at the top of the show. We want you to like. First of all, if you're on Instagram, we want you to come over to YouTube. We want you to subscribe to the channel. My Marriage is Dope podcast. We want you to subscribe. We want you to like this episode, and because maybe this is going to be beneficial for you. Maybe you're going through something that you might not be experiencing a life-threatening cancer diagnosis like us, but you are going through your own kind of hell. You're going through your own kind of thing. Whatever it is your thing is, and you're trying to figure out how to make it through. Like, we're constantly still even getting DMs and things of that nature from couples who are like, I don't know if I can make it. And we're like, no, you gotta refer back to these vows that you took, and really dive into, are you committed? So, IG, we're gonna stay with you. Typically we go, we drop you guys off and we leave and come on over to YouTube. But we're gonna stay with you. But come over to YouTube, like and subscribe, and let's stay connected.
I wanted to make a point, because I'm sure somebody listening to this now or later on will say, well, you're going through something that you didn't have any control over, right? So the mindset is different if your spouse does something that puts you all in jeopardy, in emotional jeopardy or financial jeopardy or whatever the case may be. It's still the same mentality that we should have. We should still have the mentality of for better or for worse, in sickness and health, richer for poor, right? Like that.
Forsaking all others.
Right, all of that.
Right.
That it's not just the mentality of, oh, well, you're going through something that, is out of your control.
Yes.
Because we've been there where we've experienced the things that the damage that we brought into the marriage.
Right.
Right. And so, of course, early on, we weren't committed, right? We weren't disciplined. We weren't focused. We didn't have a foundation built on principles to help us stand the test of time as we do now. And so now, right, it's being able to look at, so two things that happen to you, things that don't. Things that happen to you and things that you cause to happen. When your spouse causes something to happen, you have to be able to look at your spouse. So most of our audience are have some type of Christian foundation or believe in a higher power, right? So with that, as a Christian, I'm saying, God, forgive me. God, I've messed up. God, it's me again. How do I expect for me not to have mercy and grace on you when you do the same thing that I do as it pertains to God?
Oh, we've said that.
We say that all the time, but
yeah.
It's not like, it needs to resonate with people that, man, how many times I got to go to God just in a 24-hour period?
Daily. It's daily.
Daily. So if I'm
asking and pleading and begging for forgiveness,
if I'm doing that to the perfect human being, the
right,
perfect being,
right,
messing up, hurting God, how do you think I'm going to do to the imperfect human being? Right? So on the flip side, I need to have that grace for the imperfect human being.
People don't want to extend grace. Let's be honest. People do not. People are ultimately selfish.
They're selfish, but people are fearful. Like, selfish, yes. But if we strip down another layer, it really boils down to fear.
Well, tell me what they're afraid of.
They're afraid of continuing to get hurt. They're afraid of their spouse not meeting their needs. Once again, if I let this wall down, And I open up my heart to you, because opening up our heart, it is a risk. I'm taking
You're taking a huge risk.
risk.
Huge risk. That's the trust that people,
That
when we
is
talk about
the
trust, it is risk management.
Yes.
How much of my heart can I trust you with?
Exactly. And so I'm trying, this is a crazy thing. I'm trying to give you pieces of my heart, because I don't want to give you my whole heart, but I want you to love my whole heart.
Right.
And you can't even love my whole heart because you don't have it.
You don't.
But I feel the deficit. I feel the fact that you don't love my whole heart. And then I blame you when I'm not the one giving you my whole heart. That's the fear.
That's good.
Right? And so
that's good.
So many people live in that space.
That's real good.
And I'm telling you, we have to literally gird up our loins, as our pastor dog used to say, gird up your loins. And we have to be willing to give the very thing that we want. We're so focused on getting. Y'all, you have to be willing to give the thing that you want. In this season, if I was in Shannon's shoes, Lord, I would want somebody to be patient with me, have compassion. Listen, this is why I got a therapist in this season of my life, because I don't have issues being patient and compassionate. That's not the issue. But it's interesting, and this is to all my caregivers out there. A lot of caregivers, you've been forgotten about, right? You have family members who are questioning you, how you're taking care of, your mom or your dad or whoever, your child or whatever. Like, it's a lot of stress on caregivers, right? Your friend dynamic changes, right? Not that your friends aren't there, but when everybody can go out and hang out, you can't.
No.
Right? I put together a trip for me and my girlfriends months ago, way before, like months ago, back in February, for July, and I ended up not being able to go.
Yeah.
Things change. You understand? Like, things change. And I was like, okay, whatever is a deficit in my relationship, I can't talk to you about it.
Right.
Because emotionally,
not in this moment.
Not in this moment.
Right,
You understand?
right. So you needed that.
You
needed that respite. You needed that place
I needed
to be
that
able to.
safe place to be able to emote and to share. I mean, we had an issue with our son's dog. We completely disagreed on it, and we actually ended up getting into an argument about it. And I felt horrible. It was literally the night that Shannon came home from the hospital. And the first hospital stay, like, we found out he had cancer July 3rd. He was in the hospital 8 days, came home that night. We had an argument about our son bringing his dog here. And I had to just be like, Shirley, you cannot, you just can't talk to him about this is what you want, but it's not what he wants. And typically we would have a conversation. Well, this is what I want. This is what you want. What are we going to do? Like, how can we work? We couldn't even do that, because where he was so fragile emotionally, he's like, nigga, like, I just got told, like, I could literally die. I'm not trying to think about no dog. Right? I had to take that to my counselor. Right? So it's just being able to just not be so concerned with what you want. And this is my thing. I'm spending my life with you. I pray that God gives us an average lifespan of in our 80s and 90s. Let's say God...
That ain't average.
That's not average?
No.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. But let's say God gives us another 30, 40 years together. This is my thing, and this is why I tell people. Sometimes what you want, you have to just table that. You're spending a lifetime together.
When you consider it in a lifetime. Yes.
You understand? It's okay to be like, you know what? Let me just put my feelings completely to the side and Just pour out. And when you do that, make sure you have another place where you could pour into and they can pour back into you.
You know what I'm tripping on?
What?
How absolutely small I am on this camera.
You are so
crazy. Can you see that? Oh my word. Yeah. I do not recommend the cancer diet at all. That's not, if you want to lose weight, don't do it this way. Oh my goodness. I feel like you're wider than me.
Oh, wider. I got
like your shoulders.
I'm big back Shirley?
No, not big back, not in that way. I just feel so.
You've lost a lot of weight,
I
baby.
picked up, I took up so much of the screen.
Yeah, you did, baby.
In our, subsequent, episodes, and I don't take up nowhere close to that anymore. I used to be like, move over, move over. But now I'm like, come closer, come closer. Yeah. Oh man. So, yeah. So, when you talk about the fear, I love what you said about fear and managing those fears. And I can honestly say that this is probably, in this season, has been the most that I have been gripped by fear. I mean, fear of just riding in the car, fear of being in the house, fear of being outside the house, fear of being around people, fear of being away from people, fear of living, fear of dying, like fear of medicine, fear of the medicine, what are they called? The medication side effects, fear, like just like fear, just lurking around the corner, and the state of stress that keeps the body in, is almost as damaging as the cancer that you're experiencing, the cancer that I'm experiencing. And so now when you frame the whole marriage construct and living, the reason why you cannot, live up to the vows, or why you cannot experience the fullness of the marriage and the marriage vows and everything that comes with that, is because of fear of some of the heart not being given the proper attention. That puts my understanding of fear and being me so closely related to fear now puts all of that in perspective. So now I understand the years that I kept you from my whole heart was because I was gripped with fear. And that fear helped to cause even more damage because of the high level of stress associated with fear.
And it's so crazy because you saying that, do you see how we would get in arguments and about I'm not giving. When you're in that space, it doesn't even matter how much I'm giving, you can't see it because all you see and feel is your fear. That's why you and I were talking the other day, and I was saying sometimes we are the issues in our marriage. Sometimes there are anomalies where sometimes it is just somebody just can't give enough because of the lens that they are operating from. It literally doesn't matter what I do, how much I love you, how much I pour into you.
It's never going to be enough.
It's not going to be enough. When we live in fear, there's nothing you can do about that. Do about that from the standpoint of you, the person trying to love a person that is living in fear. That person has to awaken and realize this is the space that I'm living in. We're always going to be holding pieces of ourself close to self.
Yeah, I remember there were nights, especially in July, like, I was still feeling, nowhere close to where I'm feeling now. With treatment having started and going through the process, like my body is responding to treatment. My body is responding to the amazing. Shout out to Shirley Perry Austin, Coach Shirley, Chef Shirley. Y'all don't know she like
what?
She
so funny.
Listen, we believe that my body's response to the treatment is not just due to the standard of care, the science. Standard of care, we'll talk about that a little later, what that looks like, what my treatment looks like a little bit, and what the future holds for treatment. But my body is responding to treatment. Listen, there was a number when I got diagnosed. The body produces these proteins. I don't want to dive too deep into the science, but the body produces proteins normally in the body. And that protein in your body and in my body, in her, well, not in my body, but in her body, normally the normal value of that protein is between 5 and 26. It's called light chains. And this particular kind of light chain is called lambda light chains. The lambda light chains in her body is 5 to 26. When I was diagnosed, the lambda light chains in my body was 5,000. So I was a sick puppy. Remember, 98%, 90% in the 90 percentile of my blood plasma was dominated by this cancer. And as we started treatment, even with one hospitalization plus the first one, as we started treatment, those numbers started to come down exponentially. But immediately when I was diagnosed, after we got discharged from the hospital, because I was eating a little burger in the hospital, not the bun, without the bun.
Tell me that.
I was trying to figure it out. I was trying to eat something clean and eat something good, get protein. I'm thinking protein, and I didn't want to eat chicken for some reason, and so I would have just the burger patty, and put a little mustard on it, and have the vegetables and things of that nature. Right, and so, but when I got discharged, came home, we went to a whole food plant-based diet. Immediately, that was a part of the plan. That was a part of this like 4 or 5 pronged plan that we had that included our spiritual life, our spirituality, our faith in prayer and fasting, and then finding out what the standard of care was. We believe in the science, and we don't believe that all doctors are boogeymen in the industry. We don't believe that. And then nutrition. And she has been feeding me, and my body has responded. Well, I have not had effects from the chemotherapy. I have not had effects from the other very serious medications that I have to take that is responsible for killing or bringing this disease into remission. And it's this one right here. This morning she made me, y'all, let me tell you what she made me.
Something good.
She made me oatmeal. So I'm afraid I have this, I'm trying to manage this fear of being constipated. And, fiber helps to add bulk and all this other stuff. And I'm like, don't give me no regular oatmeal. And then I'm hearing stuff about, the oats being treated and the oats aren't healthy and all these other things. And I was like, I don't want no oatmeal. If I'm going to have oatmeal, make steel cut oats. Well, I thought she forgot about the steel cut oats. You went and bought them steel cut oats, and she brought me some steel cut oats. Listen, me and fruit have not had a good relationship in my life. Me and fruit have not gotten along. Child, she done got me on these blueberries. A couple weeks back, she gave me some just cut up with my fresh fruit. She gave me some blueberries. Now, typically, I would eat around them. But when you're trying to live, listen, you will do whatever you need to do.
Yes, you will.
When you are trying to live. You think I'm talking about cancer, but when you are trying for your marriage to be successful and you really want it to work, you will do anything. You will do whatever it takes, right? And so so this morning, she brought me some steel cut oats. Now, I had red bananas, bananas have a high GI, which is a high glycemic index, which they spike your blood sugar, but they also do have fiber. So it helps to add, fiber to whatever you're eating. Here, this one brings me steel cut oats, no sugar, no butter, with blueberries, walnuts. Walnuts was in that?
Pecans.
Or pecans, and
bananas.
And bananas.
Yes.
And I'm looking at this bowl like, oh my goodness! What have you done? Why hast thou forsaken me? Right? And look, I ate it, and guess what, y'all? It was good. It wasn't that sweet. Yeah. And the little pops of sweetness from the bananas helped it out.
Yes.
Right?
I told you.
The blueberries are not high GI. They're actually low GI. Yeah. Plus the antioxidants.
Great antioxidant, yeah.
So I'm getting fed over here in ways that are helping my body respond to this treatment and all of these different things that are happening. And so why am I saying this? I had to literally change my entire approach to food.
Yes.
I had to change what I was doing and how I was approaching food so that the food could actually be an aid to the healing of my body. You have to completely change how you're viewing your marriage, how you approach marriage enrichment, how you have shaped what your vows look like, what you are and what you're not going to do.
How you view your spouse and the pain and dysfunction that they bring into the marriage.
You have to change
that. Yeah. Yep.
Let me get a little swig.
Yeah. Because listen, it's a cliche, but it's more than a cliche. It's the truth. Hurt people, right? So somebody's not going to just wound you just because, unless they're evil. Right? So that's why we say either one of two things. Your spouse has made a bad decision, but they are a good human being at the core, or they're evil. Which one did you marry? If you can't say evil, then do the work to explore why things are the way they are. Right? Somebody posted the other day that she had said that divorce was not an option for her, and she got ripped to shreds. People,
I don't get that.
I don't get it. I'm like, why would you make divorce an option? No. Somebody said, sometimes you love somebody enough where you have to let them go. And I was like, why would you say that? I said, why can't I love you enough to do the work?
To do what it takes.
Why don't I love you enough to heal? Why don't I love you enough to not put divorce on the table? Right? It's like we're just backwards in our thinking.
Yes.
And so, I just, my thing with people is, what if you don't even have a level of commitment with yourself? It is going to be very difficult to have that level of commitment with another human being. And when I look at where I was in my dark season, I didn't have that level of commitment with myself in certain areas of my life.
Can I pause you for a second? We got to listen. This is what I've discovered. When I talk to people about how you're feeding me, you should see the absolute, I do not have the ability to eat like that. I want my meat, I want my beef, I want my seafood, I want my lamb chops, I want my chicken wings. They are not even willing to consider that eating a whole food plant-based diet is better for them. They won't even consider it. Right?
Yeah.
And they begin to rationalize, well, I hear some people say I have to die of something. I have to do this. I need a treat every now and then. So because it's not a consideration, it's not something that they could actually bring themselves to do. Well, the same holds true within the marriage construct. Like, people cannot imagine actually giving someone their whole heart who they're not receiving their whole heart from them. They can't conceive of forgiving someone that hurt them so badly, like with infidelity or whatever. They just can't imagine it, and they're like, I'm not putting up with that. I'm not living with that. I'm not doing that, and as a result, I'm going to leave this situation. And so, I'm seeing how I held on to food and lifted up food as a God that helped to put me in the very position that I'm in with my health. And this change that I didn't ever think that I could make. Blueberries. Yeah. Y'all think I'm harping on blueberries. I don't eat blueberries until now because my life depends on it. Yeah. And I actually like the blueberries. I'm asking myself, well, what was I running from all this time? Why was I so afraid of the blueberries? What was it about the blueberries? Was it the texture? Was it the taste? Was it just the idea? I love the blueberry Pop-Tarts, but that had all kind of sugar. And, right? But why wasn't I eating blueberries? Why wasn't I eating the things that was this thing that had antioxidants and could really help me with my health journey? That's with my life and right.
But see, that's why perspective is so important, because I'm a foodie. We both are like
we still are.
We're
not foodies,
right? Again, the fear, but also the uncomfortability of giving up something that makes me so comfortable, right? Like, food is a salve for the human race. Like, it's very few people who say, I wake up and I eat to live. You know what I'm saying? We were saying, I wake up, I live to eat. Like, that's what food was for us. And so it's that thing of, man, all the sacrifices that I have to make if I give this up. But it's really, you're gaining so much if you give it up. But because of perspective, you can't see. You look at it as a sacrifice. So in our relationship, in our marriage, we look at, well, if I give you this, what am I sacrificing? And I'm not willing to sacrifice that. And the crazy thing is, the very thing that we're not willing to sacrifice is the very thing that we long for, but it will be at arm's length. Because it's just, that's why it has to be a reciprocity in this thing. If I'm going to get everything I can out of marriage, and if you're going to get everything you can out of marriage, we definitely have to be monolithic in the fact that we're going to give our 100%, our all.
You have to give your all.
You have to give your all. And listen, y'all,
and that's not equal giving, that's equal sacrifice.
Exactly. That's not equal giving, it's equal sacrifice. I'm about to say, even in giving your all. I love Brene Brown. I love Brene. Oh, I love Brene. I love Brene Brown. She's awesome. Y'all need to listen to Brene and read her books, right? But she was just talking about how with her husband, she'll be like, I got 20 today. And he'll be like, okay, I got the 80. And so they have already they already know what the rest of their day is going to look like, because he knows she only has 20. So he's not going to ask so much of her. He's not going to stress. Then the next day, he might be like, babe, I got 10. She's like, all right, I got the 90. Right? That's the working together. And that is my 20 is my 100%.
In that moment is your 100%. In that moment,
that is my 100%. And to have a husband who says, I got you, babe. Just tell me what you need. Like, if we can have this type of mindset, y'all would not be experiencing the pain and the hardships that you're experiencing, because most of it is at your hands. It's not because life is lifing.
Well, once again, when we go back to taking that fear that you talked about, along with the selfishness, because there's an innate selfishness that keeps us from giving, because we always it's survival of the fittest, right? Yeah. We want to protect, we want to hoard, we want to just in case hold a little back, just in case, right? And we often hear, well, why do I have to be the one that's such and such and such?
Yeah, we hear that all the
time. Why do I have to be the one that gives? Why do I have to be the one that
I heard it today.
Sacrifices. Why? And I'm hearing that from men a lot now. That they feel that they're sacrificing more, and we hear the term, to whom much is given, much is required. There is a lot associated with the responsibility that a man brings, and I can only speak for men. You have to speak, or myself as a male, being men, and you have to be able to speak for women and women. Like, we gotta compartmentalize at least our responsibilities and be able to know that if I don't bring this wholeness of me, this whole self of me, this completeness of me, then as a result, we're not going to be successful.
And I'm gonna say this: I'm about to speak for not for men, but to men right now. Men who think like that. I really want you to examine your heart, because in this day and age, like, social media got y'all all the way up, like, for real. Because now you're saying that not because you are pouring out your heart to your wife and she's not receiving it. You're saying it because you're paying the bills, you're taking care of home, and you're like, that should be good enough. Because that is what is resonating in these social media streets. And these men are coming home completely switching their mentality of, I serve my wife, I pamper my wife, I take care of my wife, I love my wife, on this type of level, to, oh, I'm bringing all of this now. Like, she's getting a completely different husband. Like, I'm coaching these women who are experiencing this. So when he says it, and see that when we talk about providing and protecting, for a man, is I provide for you physically, I protect you physically. Right? Not all men. There are some amazing men out there. So let me just say
y'all all are amazing. You just got a few deficits.
There you go. Right? But a lot of men don't understand, because I coach men and I ask them, what is your definition of manhood? I promise you, hands down, every last one of them have talked about protection and financial provision. And I said, well, this is why you're having problems in your marriage, and I can guarantee you're having problems in other areas of your life, because you don't understand that protection and provision is protecting the heart, protecting the spirit, spiritual protection.
Well, here. Now, I want to add to what you're saying, but it might sound like pushback.
Okay.
One of the things that men are hearing is they are constantly hearing about the bag from women. Like, that is the fear for our boys, that the bag. If you're not making high six figures into the seven, mid to high six figures,
I'm with you,
into the sevens, if you're not driving this, if you're not driving a Hellcat, if you're not driving a Scat Pack, if you're not driving a this or that, then you're not considered up to par.
But that's for the single.
No. I'm talking. You got to understand the mentality, because single people transition into being married people.
Right, but I'm talking about if you're married.
So even married, even within the confines of the marriage relationship, if somebody got married in the last 5 to 10 years, somewhere they have been influenced by the bag mentality. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I would push back and say that bag talk is rooted from men, and particularly which men uphold. Now, well, you can push back all you want.
Yeah,
but I'm talking to men, or listening to. If you listen to when Kevin Samuels, God rest his soul, when he was alive, when you listen to a lot of his content and the people that went on this, you got people out there that do not even understand how to communicate with a man's heart, but they can explain and articulate what they want to. They want a six-figure man. They want a high-dollar man, and a lot of our desire, we want to provide that sort of lifestyle and that sort of level of, we want to be high valued men, air quoting, high value men. And sometimes it's a challenge. We beat ourselves up when we're not in that position. And so when you do finally get someone that wants, this is what I'm hearing, because this is not our story at all. When you do finally get a woman that wants to deal with you, wants to be with you, and is willing to look past maybe some financial deficits that you have, you always feel like it's looming in the back. Even though she might not be bringing it up. The pressure of, am I living up to this aspect of what manhood has been described as? And yes. And when you're not measuring up, now it's hard to now bring something that you already are not doing, and then bring the emotional, what you're about to talk about, which you don't even understand.
I'm with you, right? I'm saying, and I agree with, and Coach Bear, he said it. Kevin Samuel is the one who brought that to the forefront. But when I think about our boys, when I think about males, y'all don't even know, as little boys, you have, it is in you. God put it in you to provide and protect. That seed is already in you. You're right. So that I don't think that's, we already know, like, the women these days, like, yes, there's pee in the dating pool. It just is. I was speaking from the standpoint of within the marriage, because within the marriage, you're not going to find a woman who says, oh, there are anomalies. Holistically, oh, you have to make such and such. I'm not finding that as I'm coaching. She gonna ride with you because she love you. But I'm finding that the men now who are making a little piece of change are on this, well, I bring the money, so why should I be serving you like this now? Why should I be like, it's just this mentality.
Well, that's not a new mentality. Dad, who got the big piece of chicken?
Yes.
Who got the big piece of chicken? So that is a carryover.
It is. I agree with
from an era, a bygone era that was never corrected. We were never taught. It's not. Even though you do bring home the bacon, right? That you have other responsibilities. You have additional responsibilities that have nothing to do with the physical aspect of what you're doing.
But what I'm saying is, maybe I'm not. Maybe not.
I understand
clear.
Exactly
what
I'm
saying is the mentality of taking care of your. Like, I grew up with my dad taking care of my mother's heart. He provided, but he took care of her heart.
Now, do you knowing what you
nowadays,
know now?
The simp, right? Like, this whole
but listen,
mentality.
Though, knowing what you know now, Bud was an anomaly. He was different.
Bud was
where he got that from. We can't ask him now. He's passed. But where he got that mindset from is weird, because he would have been considered a simp.
Oh gosh, yes.
Right? Because that's how Daddy was. But think about the other men in your community that was around him. Were they like that?
Not to that level. Not to that level, but they did definitely take care of their women,
their hearts.
Take care. And I'm hesitating because a lot of them were broken men, like really broken, right? Yeah. So as best as they could, they did take care of their wives' hearts. while financially, now some of them were complete dicks. I hate to say it. Like, yes, they were just ugly.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to answer some questions.
There aren't any questions. There are more statements than questions.
Okay,
but we'll take questions also and speak to comments here.
I didn't
on Instagram.
Jake, hey Jake, what's up? This is good. I need y'all to do a panel so we can. Oh man, bro, would love. That's our thing. Panels. We love doing panels. Yep, just let us know.
I didn't see my dad take care of my mom's heart, but he was an awesome dad and provider. Not until she got sick did I see him after her heart.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Jake, question. Did she ever get better? And if she did he still have that after her heart energy, or did he go back?
That's our Jake. You know Jake.
Oh, that's Jake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What is the? I don't know. I don't. What is that?
I think that's Jake.
What? Oh, okay. It says the video guy. That is our Jake.
Yeah, I think that's Jake.
I think that is him. Okay.
No, but I think his mother passed.
Okay.
I think his mommy passed.
Okay.
But
thanks for your statements.
Yeah, it's me. That's right. It's me.
Okay. Thanks for sharing.
We couldn't see Jake, the pic, the thumbnail, Jake.
Jake and Coach Bear, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, sometimes, hey, bro, to what Jake, hold on, Coach, to what Jake is saying. Mm-hmm. Let me ask your opinion. Mm-hmm. Think holistically.
Yes.
Am I a better husband now or 15 years ago?
Yeah, come on. I don't need to think holistically. You are absolutely, hands down, 1,000,000,000% a better husband now.
Okay. Yes. Am I a better husband before I got sick or after I got sick?
So you were a better husband before you got sick, way better than you were 15 years ago. After you got sick, you are exponentially. Listen, you and I, we share this. We all know we just an open book. Spiritually, we have not been aligned. We both believe in God, the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. But the way we go about it has been so different that we hadn't been able to come together on the same page. So when people say to me, how long do you wait? I'm like, hell, I waited 27 years to finally be on the same page and in alignment spiritually with my husband. Mm. So yes, you are an even better husband. And you were actually transitioning into that. We had gotten baptized together in April. Mm-hmm. Right? So, and that's the beautiful thing. And that's where my security about your change comes from. Mm. The fact that it's not it's not the church emotional high. Ooh, it was a high day in Zion today. Mm-hmm. And that lasts for a day and a half. And then I'm back to acting a fool and being, whatever. Mm-hmm. But the blessing for me was that God allowed me to see this transition happening before you got sick. And yes, you are definitely a better husband. You say it all the time. You could be a dick. Like, I just don't experience that.
You're sure using the D word a lot today.
You what, dick, divorce, death.
You just said that a couple of times. Like, no, but to Jake's point.
Yeah.
When we go through these life altering things, it helps to shift our perspective. Mm-hmm. And we see the person, we see the circumstances, we see things differently. Yeah. Which causes us to now approach the same situation in a different way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so sometimes our thing is, don't let it wait till it's a life-threatening illness.
Have to get there.
Don't wait until you're standing at divorce court, or this is the last. Like, you can actually shift your perspective.
Yes.
I'm getting tired.
You are.
Yeah.
Okay.
you could actually shift your perspective consciously and get to a point where you're now saying, I want to do things differently.
Yeah.
I not just I want to do things differently.
Make the choice,
but I
out of
have
love.
to do things differently.
Yes. Out of love, not out of force. Make the choice. Yes. Let's answer. Coach had a question.
Oh yeah, Coach. I have a question. What does someone do who married someone who displayed their representative and at their core they were evil?
Evil?
Coach Bear.
Yeah.
I need you to.
Because evil,
now we draw the line at evil.
Because evil, like, I could die.
So I would like evil. For you to is evil accurate? Is evil accurate, or is that an embellishment of what is being experienced?
Yeah. So I used evil because you guys said evil. Oh.
Right. So when we say evil, we actually mean evil. Yeah. Like demonic forces, evil. You wouldn't trust them with your children. You wouldn't trust them around your family because
you gotta sleep with your eyes.
You gotta sleep with your evil.
Yeah, you take yourself out of that situation. That's what you do. You take.
Or cheater or liar. Okay, good. All right. So not evil. That is being a cheater or a liar is a character flaw. Mm-hmm. It's not evil. Some people lie for different reasons. Mm-hmm. We both, if that's the case, we both would be considered evil because we both cheated. Mm-hmm. We both would be considered cheaters, right? Mm-hmm. And if we use evil to describe character flaws, if we use evil to describe the negative, the flawed nature of a human, then, that's different. If someone presented their representative, that's the question. Yeah. What do you do when someone presents their representative?
Then you find out, yeah.
And then you find out later on, thus and so, right? Yeah. Let me say this. I believe Shirley presented who she actually was to a certain degree. Mm-hmm. We got in our marriage, and just using her as an example, when she cheated, I don't think that was a part of who she was. I think that, of course, it was there on some level, but I believe that the circumstances helped to create an environment that made that possible. Mm-hmm. And so, people, you got to deal with who's in front of you. And if you can deal with who's in front of you, you have a better opportunity to have more favorable outcomes. So a person might appear as if they're presenting their representative, mm-hmm. but they're just being who they are in that moment. Now, did they like literally hide from you a nefarious side of their character and nature? You have to discover that. But if life brought about showed the kinks in the armor, then that's life, and you got to deal with the person that's in front of you. You have to be able to manage, because things and people change. Mm-hmm. I'm not the same man that I was 10 years ago. Things have happened in my life that have made me have to make certain decisions and say, I can't operate like that. I would snap off in a minute. Am I a snapper now? No. I have so much more patience now. I have so much more understanding right now. Here at this stage of my life. Now, if you would have met me earlier, I'm a debater. I used to really, really love debating. I could care less about a debate now. And I'm good at it. But I don't have the time for it. It doesn't serve me anymore. And so I changed. And it was a conscious decision. I was like, you know something? I need to not take things so serious. I need to calm my little self down. I need to allow people to have a difference of opinion, and it's okay. I had these conversations with myself, and as a result, changed who I was. And so people that would know me as a debater would now want to maybe push a debate. Like here recently, when the last time you heard me curse?
You once, and then you was like, oh, forgive me, Jesus, which has never ever happened in the 30 years that I've known you, because you were a cursor. Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable cursing now. That's a change for me. Yeah. That's a significant change for me. Sometimes when I even think it, I'm like, when I hear it, remember we were watching a movie or watching something on TV or something on social media and somebody cursed, and I was like, ooh. And I wanted to move on to the next thing.
Yeah. But yeah, if somebody, for anybody out there, if you get in a relationship and somebody cheats or somebody lies, I think to a degree we all lie. For real. I could be like, oh, that shirt looks so cute on you, and it don't look cute on you. That's a lie. For real. You know what I'm saying? Keep it a buck, right? So, but I just think that we are just all flawed. If you get married, you are going to experience somebody's flaw. What that looks like, you don't know until you see it. So you have grace on one another. You understand that this person is flawed, just like me. That's where the disconnect happens, though. We are so hyper vigilant on focusing on the other person's flaw, focusing on the fact that they cheated, focusing on the fact that they lied. And our belief is that if somebody cheats, it is 100% on you, the cheater, that you cheated. But there is a environment that can be brewing that puts you in the mindset of, I don't want to be here. And you start to look elsewhere. That's where both parties take responsibility. If somebody lie, they a lie. That's on them. They are lie. Even if what you do triggers them to lie, that's on them. They're a lie. But our job is to work with people. I'm not talking about our job as coaches. I'm talking about our jobs as spouses. Our job is to work with our spouse. We're married now. I's married now. We're not dating. You dating, deuces. We're married. We have to figure out how does this work? Right. What do we do to make this work so that we're not here 1, 5, 10, 15 years from now? That's it.
The Creative Network said,
a young lady had a question.
Somebody had a question?
Yeah.
Hello, my husband had an emotional affair with a female friend that I introduced to my family 14 years ago. He admits to no wrongdoing in his words. We are all friends. He was secretly calling.
I think she finished it. Goodness.
30 years later, and I feel like, who is this man? He is totally silent now. Philip, Jeanette, I would want a little more context. When you say he's totally silent now, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Like, could you give us a little more context? Or if you're willing to come on this IG live, I mean, we're on YouTube as well, but if you could just give us a little more context.
Or if you want to come on, we would love that. That would be awesome.
Well,
did somebody say what?
The Creative Network said some of us bring the money in and cook. It's real out here. It is real out here in the street.
Yes, it is.
Like, but early on in our marriage and when our boys were young, men contribute. We were probably equal breadwinners. Maybe at times I would make a little more money or less, but I still was doing baths. I was cooking food, making breakfast, dropping off in the school line, picking up from the school line, all these different things. And so it is definitely a team effort.
Yes.
It has to be a team effort. Yeah. In these streets.
Yeah. And this is the crazy thing. If you want the best from your spouse, why not do everything we can to make each other's load as light as possible? Right? Like, you can't be like, well, we both go to work, but then I got to come home, deal with the kids, take care of the kids, have to come home, cook, do whatever I need to do to prepare for the next day. And then you want to touch all over me while you sitting in your man cave, rubbing your balls. Like, seriously, that is so irritating to me. Seriously.
You are on one today. You're talking about balls and dicks and...
You know what I'm saying? Like, where did that mentality come from? And I know it came from because that's what you saw. But just because you see something doesn't make it right. We got to get out of this thought process. Because listen, I used to, you would say to me, what? I'm not what?
What?
You would say, I'm not Bud.
Oh, I'm not
That's
Bud.
my daddy.
I'm not your father. Yeah.
My daddy, they call him Bud. He would say, I'm not Bud. Because there were certain things I wanted Shannon to do. And I wanted him to operate a certain way because that's what I saw. And Shannon would just straight up, hey, yeah, I'm not Bud. I'm not your daddy. And the things that my dad did were amazing, wonderful things. But we had to create what worked for us. You have to create what works for you and your spouse, not just works for you. Because if you do what just works for you, it's actually not working for you. You're actually not getting what it is that you want.
Got a question over here from IG.
Oh, sorry.
I have a higher sex drive than my 49-year-old husband. I am 40. Okay. How should I handle it when I'm in the mood, but he's not? I have had many talks to him about this. You've had many talks to him. What does he say? That's what I want to know. Talking to him about it is not important. What questions are you asking? That would be my first thing. Questions are the key to your...
Questions are your superpower.
They are your superpower. It'll be the key to getting... So you need to ask.
Ask what, babe?
Where he is, what's going on in his mind, how he's feeling, physically, how he's feeling, right? Because it could be, it could be a variety of different reasons why his libido is lower.
Because at 49, you still getting it in at 49. That's not old.
That's not old, but at 49, there's a lot that could be happening for a man.
Exactly.
Testosterone levels could be dropping.
Yes.
There could be an issue with chronic pain. There could be, I would ask, have you had any changes? Meaning, are you gaining weight? Have you changed physically? Has your libido increased or decreased? Does he have any stressors? Like, there's so many different reasons why, other than I'm just not interested. But sometimes we might give a kind of flippant and aloof response because we don't want to dive into
this is
the reason, the real reason what's going on with us.
Because this is a point of shame for a man.
Exactly.
Right? So I'm sorry, babe, I'm just cutting you off, but
that's fine.
This is something where you have to be sensitive, sis. You do. And I know that your libido is just much higher than his, but that's embarrassing for him that your libido is higher than his. And he might not come out and be like, babe, you know what? Something's going on. I just feel like something's going on and I need to go to that. He might not say that to you. Right. And so I would this is where, I don't know if you were on earlier where I said sometimes what you want, you just have to pull back. I would just pull back, stop even talking about what your need is in that area. And like Shannon said, just ask them like, hey babe, what do you think about us going to the doctors and getting your testosterone checked? Right? Because it could be something just as simple as that, right? Has he had his prostate, what's that called? The prostate
exam.
Mm-hmm. Has he had his right? Like, we need to go into the medical realm of this to make sure everything's okay. If everything's okay, then we can start talking about the emotional side.
Well, even before that,
mm-hmm.
the medical realm.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
What are you feeding him? What is he eating?
Mm-hmm.
If his diet and nutrition is off, he's not going to have excitement. Listen, can I talk about it? I hope I don't embarrass you.
Oh,
right? So, when I was going through, right before I started my prostate cancer treatment, I did a juice cleanse. Okay.
We already know.
What? He's been checked and he's fine. He said it's my attitude, but I'm mad because I'm not getting it. There it is, folks. Listen. That's something that you can control. If you got a bad attitude and he just turned off by you, he's just annoyed by you, he's just not interested in you.
I need you to do me a favor.
Lord Jesus.
I need you to send me your number and I'm going to call you, because this is a quick fix. Seriously. This is a quick fix. Go ahead, babe.
Ain't no go ahead, babe. She better get her attitude together. That's a real quick fix. You don't even need to call you. Be nice. Stop complaining.
You know what? That's true.
In Proverbs, the Bible says, a nagging wife is like a dripping faucet.
Yes, Lord Jesus.
You know? Listen, let me say this. This might sound harsh, but I'm going to say it. It girls 83. I'm going to say it. People go eat where the cooking is good and there's good service.
No, yeah, for sure. For sure.
The brother Keith Lee, who was out there doing such an amazing work in the food space and reviewing food, he always talks about the customer service and the quality of the food. If one has a negative review, he shares it. He says, hey, this is my opinion. Yeah. You go, you try it out for yourself. Yeah. People will go. People will stand in line and for long periods of time for food that's good, and where that food is good, there's good customer service.
And listen,
I promise you.
And this is deep too, because a lot of times men, they can be mad and have sex. When your man pulls back, that really speaks to the level of disconnect emotionally that he has with you. That means if he says it's your attitude, that's not some old basic low level attitude stuff that's going on. That's some serious stuff that he is experiencing, and you have to step outside of what it is that he's not giving you and start looking at how your attitude is affecting his heart. You want him to give you, you want him to be intimate with you. He is the type of brother where if his heart is not there, he don't care. He's like, yeah, I can't even get it up. So
I don't even want to get it up.
I don't even want it, like, right? So yeah, I mean, you're right, babe. Like, it really is a simple fix.
Very simple.
Yeah, it is very simple. I was gonna, go down the route of coaching and asking questions and things of that nature, but sis, you don't even need that. You don't. If you just take this piece of advice,
be nice.
Be nice.
Be kind. Be loving. Don't be a nag.
Be respectful.
Don't close your mouth. Sometimes, but listen, I was a talker. I would keep Shirley up in the middle of the night just talking.
Oh my goodness.
Trying to have conversations. What about this? What about that? And I was nagging her. So it's not just women that are nags. A man can be a nag. So this is not, I'm not, no respecter of persons. Stop nagging. How did it feel when I stopped nagging you?
Oh gosh, it's like a weight.
No. How did it feel when I was nagging you? Did it make you want to engage or disengage?
Oh, not at all. I was going crazy. Somebody said it might
might not be only her attitude, as it takes two. Well, we feel you on that unique ways, but she said it's her attitude. She know what the problem is.
So it's her attitude,
or at least what a part of the problem
and
is.
it's not that he don't have issues. That's not the point.
Right.
The point is she not getting no.
No. Say it. Go ahead. Say it.
She not getting no dick because she not being nice. That's it. That's it. Now, he got his other issues, and he got to change that, right? But we're just
we can only talk about what she talked about.
What she shared. Yeah.
What about if he's an alcoholic? He needs to get help.
Yeah.
Alcoholics Anonymous. He needs some sort of support. He needs counseling. He needs therapy. He needs to come to the conclusion, if he is an alcoholic, that he is an alcoholic and he needs help.
And the unfortunate,
until he comes to that conclusion, there's really not much you can do. And you got to ride the wave.
Yeah, and that's so. I know that's so like deflating, but the reality is because I know drug addiction, alcoholism. You can't make a person get the help. It's gonna be when they want to get the help. You get on your knees and you pray and you take them to the throne and at the feet of Jesus, you lay them at the altar and you just pray the blood of Jesus over them, that God will take the taste out of their mouth. And I'm telling you, because that's what I did with one of my sons. And God is taking the taste out of his mouth. Right? He was vaping. He actually started getting sick. And I prayed, let him get sick. Let his stomach like hurt him. I don't care. Don't take his life, God, but you let him suffer. And my son started suffering. Then you doggone right, because he needs to stop vaping. Pray these prayers. And listen, keep your mouth shut about his alcoholism. Seriously, because it's not going to help anything. You have to learn to work around the dysfunction. When you're talking, it's just going to bring more discord and more pain. You're gonna have to, and that's work, but it's work that can be done if you have the patience for it, if you pray about it, take it to God, and let God, do his thing.
Outstanding engagement, y'all.
Appreciate the questions. The part, but again,
communication is key.
No, communication absolutely is key. Thing about communication, one person can be communicating in a healthy way and another person not, right? It's not always just two people communicating in an unhealthy way. Most times it is, but sometimes it's not. You got to grow to that. That's a level of maturity for sure. So definitely a level of maturity. Understanding, but she said that he said.
Yeah.
Her saying that it's her attitude.
But here's Jeanette here. She said, "This is Jeanette. I'm really trying. I even close my mouth and focus on working on me. It's not about closing your mouth, Jeanette. Even a closed mouth says a whole lot. And sometimes it's in what's not being said. Sometimes it boils down to some frustrations that might be bubbling, that might be present, that are just not being communicated. And so if there's an environment of being critical, not being grateful, not being thankful, and I would invite you to express more gratitude for him, for your marriage, for him, what he brings to the family. Like, take the highlight off of, I'm not getting what I need sexually. You should be satisfied sexually in your marriage. Period.
For sure.
Everyone deserves to experience that level of fulfillment within the confines of their marriage. But while you're not receiving it, what you are receiving, highlight the positives. Pinpoint what is going right and express gratitude to the universe, to the environment, to God, to him, and just how thankful you are that he's in your life. And as a matter of fact, I would say, Jeanette, actually even think like I had to, in this state of my health challenges that we're facing right now. I have found myself being more expressive from a gratitude perspective. I'm thankful for her and how well she takes care of me, how well she feeds me. I'm thankful that the treatments my body is responding to treatments. I'm thankful. Listen, Shirley and I let me just be honest, we have not had sex in months, 2 months to be exact. I have not, she's been like, babe, how you feel? Like, what you think? And I'm like, listen, that is the furthest thing from my mind. I am not interested. And that's saying a lot from me because I used to always be like, we don't have enough sex. We don't have enough sex. I was that dude. Now here I am in a point in time in my life where sex is the last thing that I am thinking about. I'm not interested. I'm not. Now, as my body responds to this treatment, I've been getting a little frisky from a standpoint of hugging and affection and things of that nature here recently. But the fact of the matter is, it hasn't been something that I've been interested in. And so you got to take these things into account. For that, I am grateful. I'm quite sure Shirley was like, "Ooh, well, he's not completely dead. He's not dead yet, so he's rubbing on my booty. So something's left in there of him." Mm-hmm. Be thankful for that. And as things progress and change and you talk and you share and you create an environment where each other is comfortable with sharing your heart and not complaining, that will produce more favorable results.
So I do want you to put your number in the DM me.
No. Let me pin.
No, DM me, Jeanette.
Oh, she's on YouTube, so yeah. I'm gonna pin. I'm gonna let me pin the email address so she can send you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. And yeah, so send me your number to the email address, and because I do have some specific questions now, and definitely would love to support you through this to hopefully get a better, you know. So Coach Bear, yes sir. Daria, hello my love. How are you? We have been a minute since we've talked. I pray that you and your king are doing well. You may need it.
So listen, guys. Listen, this has been absolutely amazing. Yes. This has been absolutely amazing, but I'm tired. I probably gave a little more, got a little more excited than I probably needed to be. But this has been another edition of My Marriage is Dope podcast. Freestyle Friday, we called it. We need to do this, you know.
Yeah.
Look how big I was.
You were, dude.
Oh my goodness.
You were big.
Oh my goodness.
And I was big too. Look at my belly.
Oh my goodness.
My belly and my booty.
Look, mercy. What up, Trail Dog Speak?
Trail! What up?
What up, family? How you doing?
Family.
We decided to try to do a little something live.
Man, thank y'all. Thank y'all for hanging in there with us.
Thank you for hanging in there.
Yes.
Please keep us in prayer.
Yes.
Shout out to all those that have been very, very supportive of us through GoFundMe and
praying and food
praying,
and
fasting
on Wednesdays.
you know, just being understanding, just
yes,
the calls, the text messages. We've gotten it all, and we feel all the love. We have a road ahead of us,
yes,
and we are traveling. We didn't talk too much about treatment and things of that nature, but we'll share some of that as the journeys continue. But we are so thankful, and thank you, baby, for joining me. I appreciate you.
So precious.
I appreciate you.
Precious. We love y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you. If you have donated to the GoFundMe, thank you so much, because this hit us hard, but we're pushing forward. Our amazing brother and sister, Jeremy and Tracy Anderson, started a GoFundMe for us. The link is in the bio if you feel inclined to donate. Connie in the building.
What's
Love
up,
you
Connie?
too, Connie.
Thank you, Janae.
We are just so very thankful that you all have sought to help us during this very, very challenging time. I personally appreciate it. And I know Mama appreciates it as well.
Yep.
We love you guys. Thank you.
Love y'all.
Peace.
Peace.